Hello, this is Matt Wilhelm from Yellowstone Fly Fishing School in Livingston, Montana, working in partnership with Montana Angler Fly Shop in Bozeman, Montana. And today we're going to talk a little bit about wide loops. Now, a lot of people think that all the time, every time, we should be casting tight loops when we fly cast, and that's simply not true. Sometimes we want to throw a wide loop. For an example, if you're casting a heavy wet fly rig with a nymph and a split shot and a strike indicator, you want to be able to open that loop up and make it a little bit wider. If you're fishing a heavy streamer, you want to be able to open that loop up and make it a little bit wider. The reason we want to open the loop up is that sometimes all of that heavy tackle, if you cast a tight loop, it might come through lower to the rod tip and maybe hit your rod tip, damaging your rod tip, tangling your line. So you want to try to open up that loop a little bit. Rod tip path determines the loop shape. If your rod tip travels, if you pretend like my finger is the rod tip, if your rod tip travels in a straight line, you have a good chance of casting a tight loop. But in a wide loop situation, if the rod tip travels in a circular path, you'll have more of an open loop, which is good for those heavier flies and nymph rigs. So starting off, I'm casting a tight loop. My rod tip is traveling in a straight line path. Really nice cast for dry fly fishing, but if I have a nymph on, I want to open that loop up. So I'm putting a little bit, I'm incorporating a little bit more wrist into my cast, making my rod tip travel in a more circular path, which opens up that loop and makes that effective for casting heavier flies and streamers. And that's how you cast a wide loop.